Hello everyone, it's Palest, but you can all call me Harry. Got a commentary today of some kill confirmed on Fallen. Been playing quite a lot of kill confirmed recently. One of my favourite game types. Excellent addition to this game. It really adds another dimension to the whole team deathmatch kind of game type. As I say, really enjoying that. And had a good fun playing this game. I was playing with my good friend Craig Fellows, who I've got a live commentary session coming up very shortly, and I play with him in that. This game was later in the same evening, and it went rather well, I'll say that much. I'm going to start off by saying this is a class that Craig has used and has recommended to me, and it's a very effective class, and I wanted to talk about really what makes it good, and talk about sort of class setups in general, because I haven't done a lot in terms of class setup on my channel. A lot of other commentators put up videos of them with their sort of their set of 5 to 10 classes and talk through their choices and such. I tend to have quite a limited selection of guns, as you can probably tell from the videos that I use. I mean, I try to mix them up. But this is a slightly modified class, and one that I started using yesterday. I mean, I'm using the ACR, which is an effective weapon, and you can use it on pretty much any map, and you'll do absolutely fine with it. I'm using, as my perk 1 here, Scavenger. As my perk 2, I'm using Hardline, and as my perk 3, I believe I'm using SitRep. Actually, on Craig's class, he has Marksman, but I use SitRep in this game. However, I've changed that since. I mean, I'll talk through this in a bit. But the advantage, and I mean, so for the strike chain, it's then Sleight of Hand, Dead Silence, and Marksman. I have as my, well, you get it at kill number 5, because I've got Hardline. So that's the third one in the strike chain. The advantage of also there are several advantages. One of the advantages you'll pick up immediately is that Sleight of Hand is very cleverly placed. By having Hardline, you get your first perk bonus after 1 kill. When do you want to reload? Well, usually after your first kill. So you pick up your first kill, and at the moment you need to reload is the moment you get Sleight of Hand. So you're kind of not really losing out on Sleight of Hand by not having it as a starting off perk and having it as the first perk in your strike chain, if that makes sense. You also there's also the advantage of having Hardline early on, because as you can see just there, assists count as kills with Hardline Pro. And especially early on, I find is when early on in the life is when I tend to use my stuns and my nades, and there's an advantage to that because if you keep leaving your stuns and nades and you don't ever use them, then just not going to get anything out of them. It's kind of helpful to use them early on in your life. Sometimes, other times you might want to save it. If there's absolutely no point, you're not expecting to get any kills at all from a stun or a nade, then don't use them. But I tend to stun out and nade because when I spawn in an area, also I don't have a lot of information about that area, and I often if you're spawning in a bad area as well, you want to move to a place where there's cover, and to move to that cover, you might want to stun, you might want to nade to make sure that your transition from your spawn to that cover is safe. So anyway, I do a lot of stunning and nading out of spawn when I begin my lives, and I'm sure you've noticed that in the past. So having Hardline from the start, I mean obviously with stuns and nades you pick up a lot of assists. So by then having Hardline from the start as my opening perk rather than something in the strike chain, I benefit by getting assists counting as kills early on. That helps me in this game. I believe I get my Moab on about 21 kills-ish. So before I even get to 24, I'm getting the Moab. I've got SitRep. As I say, I've changed that now to Marksman on this class. They're both very good, both excellent. I have always slightly underrated Marksman, and I've been using Marksman today quite a lot, and it's such an effective perk. Helps so much with visibility. In this game, players have a habit of getting camouflaged in things they shouldn't really get camouflaged in. They don't pop out quite as easily as they do in other games, other Call of Duty games, I find. So Marksman is very effective, and as you can see, it gives you a lot of knowledge about player positions, player spawns, especially when you're using long-range guns. So for the ACR, M14 snipers, Marksman's pretty much indispensable. It's very advantageous. SitRep is great for closer encounters, so they're both good, and I'd put them both at least in your strike chain, if not have one of them in your opening perks. As I say, I'm using SitRep from the start here, which I advocate, but I also advocate using Marksman. I mean, either of those is an excellent choice. So as you can see, I'm sort of working my way around the map quite slowly. I've been staying in one place for most of the time, or certainly early on I was staying up on that little balcony, that sort of platform area. That's a good place to start off when you spawn on the side that I did. You get quite a good vantage point, easy to duck out of gunfights. It's a little bit obvious, which is the downside. As you can see, there's a guy right next to me here. I don't just don't see him. There's one over there who I shoot, and then for the Moab, he's been lying beside me all this time. Anyway, there's the Moab. But yes, one of the advantages of using extended, I mean, this ACR's got dual attachments. I tend to like focus on it, and I've reverted to focus since. But dual attachments with the red dot and the extended mags is great. For one, because you get a lot of spraying power with extended mags. That's always useful. Also, you get more starting ammunition. With Scavenger, as I have, which is my other starting perk I should mention, you get your clip plus 6 times your clip in ammo. So if you're using Scavenger, you start off, I believe, with 45, I think, bullets in your clip for the ACR, and then 6 times that additional ammo, and I think that usually takes you up to about 270. If you haven't got extended mags, you start off with 180 extra ammo that's not in your clip, plus obviously your 30. So extended mags, as well as giving you more spraying power in the actual gunfight, better ability to take out several enemies at one time. It's also giving you more starting ammo. And if you're thinking about being static, as I was certainly at the beginning of the game, as you can see, I've made my way all the way around the map from beginning to end, and it's taken me about 6 minutes to get all the way around the map, which sort of shows you how slowly, how carefully you should be moving. If you're running around the map and you're doing a circuit of the map quicker than that, in most cases you're probably pushing too hard, probably being too aggressive. As you can see, I think I get knifed very shortly. I'm quite frustratingly stuck there. Yeah, get knifed. I think that's the last kill on our team as well. So relatively easy win. Some tips on class building. And finally, I should mention, give a shout out to my friend Craig, who's been invaluable with his advice. He's now got a channel, I'll link you to his video, where he's using the same class as I'm using here, and he also gets some Moabs. That's excellent. Okay, thanks a lot everyone, and see you later.